Period.
Talk about it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I want my parents to spend some time with him too. My dad wants to teach him how to swim. He thinks he's got the
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Come on.
Sorry.
Hey, y'all. Give it a couple minutes. Give it a couple minutes.
office space camping with breaks up. So what is not in the city? Just another level. Right. Awesome.
He falling
That's what I
asleep.
like to hear.
Working.
Give me a call if you guys have any questions. I'm here anytime. Okay.
Oh, it's just me, y'all.
It tagged you, right?
Yes. Yes. Girl, and that was I heard it a different way, but yes, the way you just asked it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. See, I almost did it again.
So look at my slippers. I'm stepping some food. Okay. All right. Hey, y'all.
Hey, y'all.
Welcome to week 3 of Wine and Grow. I'm Ken.
I'm Kay.
She's Kay. I'm Ken. And this is Wine and Grow because we wine when we grow. When we grow, we need wine. So we're back with episode 3 of Insecure. Pressure. Okay. Y'all, we got all type of things.
Because we was watching it again.
First of all, yeah, we was
I watched it before
watching
I got here and did this over
Yes,
here. So.
Yeah, like we were just talking about like how we wish we had a split screen so that y'all could be able to, we could be able to watch this episode and like discuss it at the same time. Like that would be dope. We have to see what we can do.
Yeah.
But like, yeah. So this episode, Team Lawerence, okay? Team Lawerence. It's all about the baby mama, baby daddy drama. And really it just shows how women can make things harder on themselves when they don't speak up.
Especially in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Ever, but the beginning phase when you know you need the help, you need some rest, you need a lot of things.
Yes, when you just had a baby. And in their situation particularly, so we start off, you know, seeing Issa and Lawerence ending things, whatever, and we see him living his new life in San Francisco, and he's dating, and then boom, he finds out by text that his baby is born.
Believe me.
Via text.
Believe me.
Now, come on now. Y'all didn't have kids. Y'all know that's a whole process. You know, like, it happened quick. However, when he gets to the hospital, her mom, and her sister is there. So you had the time to call them and get them there. However, you text me, and he lived all the way in San Francisco. So he still probably would have missed the labor, but...
And I don't even think the text came from nobody in that room. Because of how all of them looked when he came, especially Condola. She was definitely shocked.
Like they weren't expecting him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, dang. Wow. So, yeah. So basically, he's like, and I mean, and I don't want us to sound biased during this episode, but we're like, listen, we're coming from a woman's perspective. So the fact that we can agree with the man pretty much says enough, you know, through this whole episode. Like, she names the baby, did not consider him. So I guess her whole thing is basically like she felt like when she told him she was pregnant, he was just like, keep me posted. And she made that comment in the episode. Well, keep me posted or whatever.
And I feel that should have been, okay, we got this doctor's appointment. We have this. I have this. Just to even give him a chance. Keeping him posted. But
like
she said, even though he should have still reached out because he knew she was pregnant. Yeah. Nobody's saying he was right.
And we don't see none of that, right? We don't see the whole pregnancy, 9 months. We don't see how he was checking on her or if he was going to the appointments. But they're insinuating that he hadn't been there for her pregnancy. Right. And mostly because he had moved to San Francisco from LA. So she had been doing it by herself. So she basically went into the expectation, when I have this baby, I'm going to be doing this by myself. You know, like, which isn't, you know, we can't fault her for that. Right. You know? Right. However, he was trying. You see a man in this episode who was trying to step up and be a father, and a woman who was pushing him away. And this is what you see.
Of both of them.
Yes.
The frustrations of both of them, because they both having separate views of what this situation looked like. She thinking, just like she said in the show, you get to get a full night's sleep, not knowing the man coming in late, sleeping on his couch, getting
working
right back
night,
up, working, working.
And she don't see the effort he's putting in to be a good father. He buying stuff, he getting cribs, he getting his house set up so that he can keep the baby. And then he asked her if he could keep the baby for a week. And she like, what? No, new mom, you attached to your baby, but again, this is the baby's father. And you had a baby with this man, so you should be able to trust him. Right? We gotta start thinking about who we laying down with. Period. Because if you laying down with somebody that you don't feel like is a good father, you need to reconsider laying down with them. Because if you get pregnant, then what you gonna do?
Cause we older now, y'all. Ain't no.
Yeah,
I ain't know.
Like we gotta be smarter about choosing our partners and the people who we have sex with, because things happen. And if a baby comes out of this, am I gonna be doing this on my own? Am I gonna be able to trust you to be a good father? And we gotta just stop making people bad people when they're not. Like that's like, a pet peeve. And we like touched on this a little bit in past episodes, like, being moms and stuff and co-parenting. Personally, co-parenting, it wasn't always easy, but it's wonderful. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, like Demaic is living with his dad. He's spending high school with his dad because he's a teenager now. And he feels like he would do better, get into his next stage of his manhood by living with his father full time. And I totally okay. We gave him the freedom to be able to make decisions regarding where he would live when he was comfortable making that decision. Me and Dominic have learned to not fault our son for our mishaps. Right? And that's all of this is. It's like when you get people who are bitter, who don't, who are fighting for different things, and most of the time it's about them. It ain't even about the baby. The baby is just in the middle getting stretched for no reason.
I don't know what's going on.
Just bitter people.
Y'all. So, okay. Do you feel that, well, I know more than likely what you feel, but, okay, so in this instance, we know that, obviously, they were having a baby, Lawerence decides to move. Do you feel like he should have made the decision to stay, even though he already had the job? Do you think that he should have rethought it to stay? Do you think that probably would have been? Yeah,
I think that was something, but I think, in his mind, he thought it could work. Right? Like that's what he said. Like he basically realizes that I can't be traveling back and forth, trying to see my baby. Like I need to be closer. And it seems as if he's going to make that decision to move back to LA to be closer to the baby. But he was just doing like something for him in that moment.
Is okay, though.
He was doing something for him in the moment, and he probably was thinking, right now we making a lot of assumptions, but I'm going to make this move now, and we'll see what happened with that when that happened, which is what's happening. It's playing out, and he sees, okay, this is not going to work, so I got to make some adjustments or whatever. But.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like you just keep on doing what you do because you don't know. He ain't never had a baby, so he don't know what's going to actually happen. So I feel like you should still follow your goals until you got to make that change until you figure out what is working and what ain't working. And we all, like, in life, in society, right, we see the moms suffer the most when it comes to being parents. Like, we get the blunt of the work. And that's something that her sister, who's Kiki is playing, Kiki Palmer is playing in the episode. She's playing Condola's sister. And she basically says to him, like, because he was talking about how tired he was. And she like, well, because you definitely not sleeping or whatever. But basically, like, my sister is the one who's staying up with this baby every night. But like we were saying before we started recording, like, well, they don't know what he got going on in reality. Outside, girl, scared.
Yeah. Y'all know I got a dog, right? When she hears stuff, she gotta get into her guard mode, and that's okay. That's what we're here for. Nova, relax. What was I saying? What was I talking about?
That we never see both sides of.
Yes. And So, and it's women getting the brunt of the work, right? Because especially when you're co-parenting, most of the time the baby is spending majority of the time with the mom. So the father is what we see or what we think is living a free life. Living his life. While I'm not able to. But a lot of women make that decision for themselves. And that's what we see here, right? Because she's basically choosing him, telling him, no, it's okay. No, you can't take the baby or whatever. Not even including him in the baptism. Like this basic petty stuff.
Making it hard on herself.
Making it harder on herself. When you have a man who wants to step up and be there for your child to make it easier on you so that you can, too, live your life. So, I mean, obviously, there's women out here who don't have that support. But we talking about the women who do, but push it away.
Yes.
This is what this is about.
Yes.
So.
Yes. And she pushed him away a lot. But and there's certain instances where I feel that could have been handled better. Although I understand frustrations, at somebody else's baby's birthday party is not the place to start an argument. Mm-hmm. You knocking over presents and stuff. That's not okay. At least talk. It's ways to communicate. Yeah. It's ways to do it.
Well, he didn't want to start that argument.
Yeah.
Remember how that happened? He was trying to take care of the baby.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, I got him. Like, give him to me. Give me my baby. And he like, I got him.
Yeah.
Like, give me an opportunity to show you that I can do this. And she studied trying to take the baby from him. And he like, so basically now it's an issue. You know, like, obviously, you got to be in control of your reactions or whatever, but that's what set him off. Her not letting him be a father.
Yeah, I understand all of that. But still, you still in a public place. You at somebody else's house. You at somebody else's thing, and you finna cause a whole scene that ain't got nothing to do with nothing because of your frustrations, which you can't control.
Yeah.
Because he was trying to make light of the situation. When you seen how she was acting, get a baby back. Get the baby back and go on about your business. Just let it be. And after the party, we can have this conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And just like Derek told him, you got to learn how to communicate. You don't want to go through it like this because it's not going to be good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I mean, like I said, I definitely understand his frustration because I was frustrated. Like, girl, why are you making this so hard for yourself?
I was watching this episode and I was like, I don't even need to do no notes. I told Scree, I said, this is a clear-cut conversation.
I told her,
like, no notes needed for this, like, because we see this regularly. You know, like, and it's sad. But, again, we're making our children suffer for decisions that we've made, reckless decisions that we made, having premarital sex, you know, having sex with people who we're not with or whatever, and just setting ourselves up for trouble. Not necessarily failure every time, but definitely some issues. Like, we're setting ourselves up for that. You know, we're not really considering the future.
Yeah.
We gotta start making better decisions when it comes to those life decisions like that.
Those long-term decisions.
Yes, like, yeah.
Yeah. So do you think that, because I know they were showing, before I fast forward, do you think that he is gonna, do you think he's gonna consider to move back to what are they, Inglewood? What is they? LA? Mm-hmm. Or do you think he's gonna? I want to say that he could probably still stay in San Francisco and just figure out other ways to be closer. Like maybe doing a week or something, a couple weeks there if he can work from.
Yeah, so that's if his job allows it.
Yeah. He can work from a remote location.
Or that's even them splitting custody. Like there's not even the option that he doesn't even have to move. Yeah. Like that's a great way for her to still have freedom. Is by sharing the load. Okay? Week on, week off. Especially while he's still young, you know, like there's no school involved and stuff like that. So you're not keeping the baby from school, you know, like week on, week off, whatever. But he was traveling week to week, which is what he realized was not safe. Yeah. You know, so a month, you know, like it's they would have to work out what's best for them, but it could be done in two different locations. Yeah, you know, so
yeah, I definitely. Yeah, I've moved before, so I know it could be done. If other person wants to be a part and assist in that.
Yeah. I mean, because you obviously still want to be able to, you know, like you said, pursue your dreams and goals. You don't want to hold the other person back, you know, but then you don't want to let them off. You don't want to let them off because it's like, well, what about me? And that, again, that's what happens a lot with moms. It's like you get stuck with the children while the dad still pursues their dreams and goals. And I mean, even in marriages, women end up taking care of the kids and sacrificing more, you know, than the father would. Like, that's just how it goes. But we got to change that narrative. But that happens when we speak up for ourselves again. Like, she wasn't talking. She wasn't communicating. She wasn't telling him what she needed help with, and he told her that. So, like, what am I supposed to do if I don't know?
And I really do feel like that's where most of her frustration stemmed from, because you're not communicating. So you already have these expectations built up on how your situation's supposed to go, but you're not communicating nothing that you need. Just like when she was saying Tiffany had to take us to the urgent care. He like, why didn't you call me?
Exactly.
You gonna do not fly her
right?
Tuesday, but you didn't know what he would have done.
Exactly. But it's also the fact of just informing me. You're taking my child to the urgent care. Why would you not let me know that?
Yeah.
Like, that's silly.
Yeah.
But you made a comment that you felt like she probably still wanted a relationship.
I feel like Condola still, in her mind, that baby would have brought them back together. You did not feel like you would have been doing it alone, because in a way, you're choosing to do this alone, because again, you're not telling him what's going on and keeping him updated, keeping him posted. But you know, I realized that when she said something about we, and it could have been her speaking from when she was pregnant with the baby. But you know, saying what are you gonna, you know, just saying you weren't there for us. But is it us or the baby?
Exactly. Yep. But and again, that's something we see a lot. You know, we try to work it out for the baby. You try to figure it out or have a relationship to see what can happen, and then nothing comes from it. You know, it's not healthy to stay together for the kids. But
for real,
you know, it's just not. Like, it has to be love involved, you know, because you'll always fail when you're doing something for someone else.
Sometimes a lot of people end up resenting their partner because they stayed with this person for their children. And your children can feel that. They can see that.
But let's just stop being bitter when a man doesn't choose us. When our baby daddy don't want to stay with us. It's okay, ladies. It's okay. Find you a support system. There's one out there. You know, like, we're going to speak to the women who don't have the support of a man. Who a man who just doesn't want to be there. It happens. Pick you up some girlfriends like we have. And I don't have a deadbeat baby daddy. However, I went to college. I moved to a different city, you know, so we were, you know, he couldn't be there hands-on every day for his son. So I leaned on my friends. I found a support system that could help me, you know, family members. You know, when I was still in school, I was 16 when I had my baby, you know, so was 17 when I had him, 16 when I got pregnant. But like, depending on help, you know, asking people for support. Yeah. Closed mouths don't get fed, and we've been doing that.
Man. Yeah. Speak up. That's the only way you're going to be heard. The only way you're going to be heard.
Yeah.
But then you want to be out here suffering and saying your baby daddy ain't nothing.
That's silent suffering. Making up stuff. Why making somebody a bad person? I remember. And I remember I had to tell my exact that, because when we were first learning to co-parent, it was not good. You know, like, and I told him, I said, you trying to make me that baby mama, and I'm not. I'm not that woman. I'm not trying to keep you from your kid here.
Hello.
Here you go.
Yes. I was having the same issues when my kids were smaller, and I had to say, I said the exact same thing. Yeah. I'm like, I had to say, I never kept your kids away from you. I never, no matter what me and you go through, what we've been through, there was never once when I told you that you could not have these kids. And you the one that chooses to disappoint them.
Because I'm not taking somebody else's responsibility. Not when it was two of us who did this. No, I learned that early.
Also,
because I still want to live. I think when you have goals and dreams, it's easier to do that though. Like, because I'm like, I still have stuff that I'm focused on and I'm trying to do. So I know I can't do this on my own. So hello, you know, here you go. So I can still enjoy my life too. Like, no.
Yeah. And I just feel like, in my case, I'm not going to resent you, and I just don't have the energy to try to make somebody be in somebody else's life when these kids got to get taken care of regardless, baby. I can't stay mad at you. I got to keep going, because they going to always need something. So you'll come around when you come around, because these kids, like I said, they know, and they're going to see, and you're going to end up feeling it. And that's what ended up happening on my end, and things have changed. Like, my kids now have a better relationship with their dad. I have a better relationship with their dad. I have a good relationship with their dad. Like, we are able to do things together. And, you know, and just have the families come together.
Because you basically took the pressure off.
Yeah.
Of like you said, trying to make him be there. But allowing him to show up when he was showing up. And that's an issue for a lot of women. Because it's like, I don't want you in and out, picking and choosing when you want to be a daddy. But like, you either going to be in or you going to be out.
Regardless, y'all kids going to have daddy issues. Regardless. It just seems that way. With those types of situations, it's like, some type of way there's going to be some type of daddy issues in it because that parent is not going to always be there
full time.
Yeah.
Or mommy issues if y'all split custody. You know. And it's crazy. I was watching the same day I watched this episode of Insecure. I was watching another show, Love Life, and he got somebody pregnant during a threesome. Right. So no connection. It was just somebody he was having sex with. Like, I think he said like once a month, and they ended up having a threesome, and she got pregnant. And so she wanted to keep the baby, and he was black and she was white. So in his mind, you trying to have a trophy, somebody you could flaunt around. He was like, you trying to be Angelina Jolie? Like, I was cracking up. But anyway, she basically told him, I don't need anything from you. She told him he didn't have to be there, and he was like, what? Like, do you know what you're saying to a black man, that you don't want me to be in the life of my black child? What that's going to do?
Portraying
exactly. And I'm like, that's even like, but there's people out there who do that. Like, they allow a man to they give them the permission to leave.
Because they want to be single moms. And in most cases, they just want the baby, though.
But then you end up stressed.
But I say, and on top of that, how you know this person don't want the baby? How you know they don't want to be in this child's life?
But it was like, he was like, you know, this was a mistake, obviously. He wanted her to have an abortion. But she was like, this is my body. And he was like, this was the deep part. Because he said, well, half of what's going on in your body is a part of me.
Hello?
So why don't I get a say in that? And I'm like, that's
real.
Because we don't
think
like,
about
our body, right?
We make the choices. Listen, I will make the choices in our best interest. Trust me.
We make the choices, and then we're stuck with those choices that we make, and then we get mad at somebody else because of the choices that we
don't
made.
Want to show up. Sorry. Sorry.
Oh my goodness,
y'all
ladies.
Be tripping.
Ladies, we gotta
do
better. We gotta do better.
Y'all
we gotta do better. It's not enough bitterness in this world to keep me that way.
At all. I'm sorry. Yeah. It's just not. Cause who want to be mad? Ain't none. Who want to be mad?
I'm like, cause they don't. We spitting some facts.
Girl,
y'all ain't got nothing to say.
Or they don't agree. Either they don't want to say that.
But if you don't agree, please.
That's fine.
Feel free.
Please,
say something. Like I want to hear if I, like, and again, this is an opinion. You know, this is my opinion, and this is an opinion from a woman who sees good men get beat down, who are unable to father correctly because of women who are bitter. It's just sad. It's terrible. You keeping a man from his child, and in the end, you're hurting that child and only that child. You know, and you hurting that father.
In real life, although you have this support system, y'all putting y'all kids on these other people, and that's actually putting a burden on these other people in most cases, because y'all feel like y'all gotta push y'all kids off to them when y'all got the father right on the door, right knocking at the door. What are you doing?
Exactly. Like in this episode, when she's relying on her mom and her sister is staying at her house helping her. You know, like, instead you could have been telling him what you needed. So I can be there. I can be a father. I can show up. But again, you're not allowing him even the opportunity to say no. You're just assuming that he's not going to do it. And that's because of your feelings. We gotta set aside our feelings and our emotions with that person and put the interest of the child first. If you're a parent, put the interest of your child first. Because eventually that child is going to grow up and they're going to want an explanation. They're going to be looking for a reason. They're going to, why did this happen? Why was my dad not there? Why was my mom not there? Whatever the case.
Sucks though, because you know a lot of kids will believe their mother because that's who they live with.
And it's sad.
That's who they trust. And it is very sad. So then they looking at their daddy with the side eye, but you know they didn't have to go through all of these issues with the mother on trying to see the kids. But the kids don't get to see that part. Yeah. And it's sad. It's sad and it sucks. It is. So yes, I am.
My heart is breaking.
Lawerence. Now I was happy that he got that wake up call because It was just, you know, letting you know things do need to change.
Yeah.
But I also felt like when Condola answered that phone, it wasn't just because of the conversation they had. I'm telling you, the way she answered it, your hopes for more with Lawerence is still there.
Yeah. And we gonna see.
Because you was waiting for this man to call.
We gonna see. But that was you know, I'm happy the episode ended like that. You know, like with them basically realizing like we need to communicate better.
Yeah.
We gotta do better for our baby. And I'm excited to see what comes from that.
I am.
You know, to see how they work things out and decide to co-parent together. Yeah. Because I look at like breakups like this, even when they don't involve a child. At some point, I loved you. Exactly. I chose you. Exactly. So why am I going to now beat you down and slander your name or anything like that? I'm the one who's looking like the fool because I chose you. I loved you. You know, so I'm not going to do that to you. You know, like our issues were our issues, and that's that. It didn't work. Move on. That's part of the healing journey.
Because somebody else gonna love you. Somebody gonna love you and that child.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna be ready to give them to their daddy.
Yeah.
Some of y'all.
And it's so right because it'd be easier to move on when you found somebody. Then you be like, okay, you want your baby?
Mind y'all, I just had the same conversation with one of my friends, and he was just saying like. He was like, my baby mama would probably be happy if she had a man.
Probably though, but that's the sad part is that she probably would.
Probably, or she just like
she wouldn't be worried.
Sorry, probably, or she likes making his life a living hell.
That part too.
That because.
But it's like what you said. Like, where are the people? Because like we see a Condola's support system in entertaining her behavior instead of correcting her behavior. So if it's people in your life and you know that that's who they are, correct them. Don't be letting people be out here being foolish and petty. Correct that behavior. We're too grown.
Because I really want to know was her mama saying anything to her? Because she was just sitting there with this little smile. Not that it was like bad, but it was just like
they already had an
I feel like her mama was a little bit more open than Keke Palmer was.
They already had up in their mind the type of man he was without knowing the type of man he is. And that's because of Condola's perception of him and her experience with him, and she passed that on to them. Like, get to know people for yourself. Because even though he was bad for her, that does not mean he's bad for that baby.
And whatever she told him was still out of the feelings that she had at that moment.
Exactly.
Though, because you still want that man, baby.
Don't get in between nobody else's stuff. Don't get between somebody else's stuff because you the one who gonna be upset when they figure it out. But you was telling me blah blah blah, and I thought
I'm the queen of minding my business. I promise I'm the queen of minding my business. Just for that reason, I will say my piece and go on about my business because you're gonna do what you want to do. At the end of the day, I go silent on y'all. She knows. She knows. So.
And I'm learning. I'm learning her ways. If you don't bring it to me, and if you do bring it to me, I'm just like,
she gonna learn. We gonna learn.
So what are you looking for? So yeah. So we not gonna drag this on. I mean, we pretty much said what we said. Yeah. Team Lawerence.
Because I came in here and my feelings.
Let's say this. Team baby. Team baby, yes. Right? We want the best for this baby. And we want the best for y'all babies. So, team babies.
Yes, that's it. Team kids, team babies.
Yeah.
Team happiness, team peace.
Exactly. Team maturity. Like, period. Don't put too much on yourself.
Man, when there's people there that are always
open up and ask for help.
Help is on the way.
All right. So on that note, we will end. This has been another episode of Wine and Grow with Ken and Kay. We'll see y'all back next week with episode 4, whatever it may be.
I'm ready.
I'm always ready.
Because I think everybody back in the next episode. So yeah, I'm definitely ready.
All right, y'all. We love y'all. Thanks for tuning in. See y'all next week.